Well, hello everyone. I am now live. Alrighty, so I am going to be working on this tonight. This should be only about an hour long for this. Doesn't look too complex. This will be needing to be what's called a half draw, so I don't need to draw the entire thing. I probably can do this in rotations so that when I do it once, it's duplicated automatically. We'll figure out the math for it. Okay, so we do have another colored image that he provided. Is this one here? So it looks like the little triangle down in the middle here needs to be completely separate and on top of, with the eye, on top of the background. But I'm going to go ahead and keep the eye part with the triangle, the star, and then the wings all separate, and then I'll do font, which looks like engravers. I'm not sure what's at the top, but he didn't provide me the font name. It looks like Trojan at the top, but the A is funny. So I can only vectorize, I can't find fonts for them. So we'll go ahead and get started. I've already created the document, put the image in the background, and I have my layer up top. I am going to go ahead and drawing this triangle. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a shape, which should be a star, and then I'm going to get it to that point and let it go. And I'm going to take this because I started center. I don't know why it looks like it's not. I'm going to go ahead and convert this to an object. Shift X. I'm going to turn all my stroke into yellow so that I can see this. Let's go ahead and match as close to the stroke as I can, which looks about 12. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and turn that into a graphic style. Oops, that's an art brush. Graphic style. There we go. And that should be good for that piece. Now, the center of this lasso tool. I want to make sure I'm going in the center and get it roughly where it actually is. Shift X, M. Let's go ahead and into the ellipse for this. And that, we'll go ahead and click the graphic style so that it stays the same. I'm going to Control C, Control F. I'm going to width matching that point there. And then all I'm going to do is have to come in here with the P tool and erase the curves on it. Done. To get the background, actually it matches up to certain points. So what I can do is use the L tool. Oh, not that one. I mean the line tool. Do that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an ellipse that comes from the center to the top of this triangle, just outside it. I'm going to remove the appearance. I'm going to select both the ellipse and that. Then I'm going to group them. And then I'm going to come over to my appearance palette, and I'm going to show you this. So I'm going to go filter, and then distort and transform. Gives me this little box here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and do rotation. First turn on preview, and I'm going to do a number of copies. Let's do 36. And the angle, we're going to start at 12. Now that looks like those amount of lines. It actually looks like there might be more. So this should be 42 in the rotation 10. Let's find that rotation. So it looks like it covers all the lines. Okay, it's actually a rotation of 6 instead of 36. It would be... What would that be? 52? No? Oh, it's 60. Duh. Okay. But that looks like it's it. But the stroke is a little heavy. So I'm going to actually come into that. I'm going to direct select that stroke. And I am going to drop the stroke's width. Instead of 12, we're going to do 10. Now I'm going to select... I'm going to lock that. I'm going to select this. Control C. And then we're going to go where that ellipse was. Nope, not that one. Put it... Oh, it's locked. I can't select it. Control F, and then select those two. Make clippy mask, and then I'm going to send it backwards. And then there should be the eye path, which is that one. Should be just above it, and then there will be a fill of black. I don't have any colors in here, so I don't know. Will not give me a color touch? There we go. Black. Well, that was weird. I selected black. Do it again. Oh, it wasn't white. Ugh. Okay. There we go. First little bit of this is done. So now if I turn off the original, I think that looks pretty good. And then now we need this triangle. Neat thing is I can just copy this, paste it in front, rotate it around, bring it down, and that looks good there. For those lines from the center of that, we'll go outline mode. I'm just going to draw from here. Should be an anchor point there. Because I did not delete my anchor points specifically, knowing that I'm going to go on those. Okay, so I'm going to select all these, group, and send backwards. Now, I don't think... Well, actually, no, they are in there. Never mind. It won't hurt it. So, but now... Oh, I swear I selected those all together and grouped it. There we go. I don't know if this is just bigger. Oh yeah, it is. Okay. It's just a bigger triangle. Oh man, that's gonna be fun. Getting that all lined up. Oh. Hit the scale tool. Come in here and do that. It should. Yes, it did. Okay. Keep the lines perfect. Alright. So I'm going to come in here. And I'm going to expand that. I'm not going to expand it quite yet. I just have to be careful of where lines are. Okay. So now, the next trick is, because it did not have a triangle there. I gotta see what the next piece is here. Yeah, because if I do this, it doesn't match up to any of the lines. be 30 degrees. Okay. So 30. Yeah, why didn't it go? See, this is one thing I wish that that rotate tool would work with. That's nice, but now I have to do that. And then I have to do this scale thing to get it. Oh, it is rotated in there. Okay. So we will go ahead and delete, delete, delete. Did I somehow... Oh. That is correct, actually. This line. Make sure it is... Oh, no, it isn't. Okay. So S. Gotta make sure this math is as perfect as I can get it. Cool. Now I'm going to hit rotate. See, it's not going to let me rotate it that way. But I can do it this way. So I'm hitting Control C, Control F, and with the tool still selected, it lets me rotate it on its original axis, and I can just snap it to the other point, because I have point snapping on. Smart guides are a nice thing for this style of drawing. Okay, so that was that piece. Then we got another ellipse in here. Alright, so you are going to give me some trouble, aren't you? Okay, so there's that ellipse. Now, this looks like it's going to have to be filled with black. So I'm going to go into the fill, black, which I swear I had black selected. Alright, and then send that all the way back. Ooh, looking good. Alright, and now I think what's going on is the same inner pattern here, which would be this, this, and these, which let's go ahead and grab those first. Group that. Why did it look like something else changed? Okay. And then these. Group. Alright. Let's put that on this point here. And let's just scale it. Is that not the scale that it's supposed to be at? No. That matches it pretty dang close. We have other lines. I think this... Yeah, this is scaled to the corners. Okay. Now the lines are matching up. Alright. Those should intersect there. Alright, so now I take this and just clone it. Oop. Why is it not doing it? There we go. It's because I have that extra little circle in here, which I do need to get rid of. Oh, wait, that didn't match up. Let's get it lined up then. Just slightly off. It's on there. The height is 18.4, so let's make it exactly 18.4. Oh, didn't want to perform. Okay, now lock it. Bring that all the way forward. Let's duplicate it again. Get it dropped into this corner. Getting there, getting there, getting there. And it looks like those shapes are duplicated again and scaled just slightly bigger. Actually, it is this shape. Center. Scale it. Y. Scale it. Is it rotated? Oh yeah, that's what it was. Oh, it didn't rotate perfect. Wow. Complex math equation here. So we send those backwards, and then we send this all the way to the back. Ooh wee. That's looking good though. Then we go back into the original, copy this, go out, paste behind, and then scale it up. Well, actually, it's going to have to match that. I didn't think about this. Scale to there. Wow. And then rotate it. And then this line. Oop. You line up with something. Oh, of course the crosshatch inside the center. Ah, that was the one. Okay. Now this and this group and send all the way to the back. Well, that's fun. And actually, I'm seeing a problem here. And that needs to go black. There we go. Alrighty. So all of this, instead of being yellow, or no, keep that yellow. It's all of this instead of being white. Alright, yellow, it needs to be white. Group it. Turn it off to make sure I got it right. Yep. and then all of the yellow go white, and then if I turn off the original and then make that black, ooh wee, that looks great. And I wonder if I do that. That doesn't look good. Either way, it would have to be this. Yeah, that looked better. We'll do that. Yeah, that looks much better. Same thing here. Yes, much better looking. Now we turn off that, turn back on the original, and now we work on the wings, and it's all done. This is a very fast piece of artwork. I like it. Alright, we're saved. I'm going to go ahead and pull my appearance palette back. And we're going to go ahead and work on the wings. I am going to work with a very small stroke on this. 3. Yeah. That looks good. And then I have a special tool from Astute Graphics, which does not pay me to say that, by the way. I just really love the tool. And then just follow this line all the way around using this nice little pen tool, which I can't remember what it's exactly called, but it's another type of pen tool. It's a very fine tip, like needle point pen tool, which works just a little bit better than the original Illustrator pen tool. Really wish Illustrator, Adobe would merge with them and do Illustrator Basic and Illustrator Pro. Illustrator Pro also would have like InDesign tools within it too, because I really don't use InDesign anymore, not unless I'm doing like a very fancy catalog where products change. If it's like a menu, I'll do it inside Illustrator. But if they have like a dynamic menu where they have like 200 different locations, like it's a Denny's or something, then yeah, I'll have to do it inside InDesign. Due to the fact is that I'd want updatable content via XML, so that way I'm not worried about trying to map all their artwork. Instead, I could just do like a spreadsheet. Okay, this image is here, and then I just set up styles, sheets, and everything like that, and then build the document how it needs to be laid out, and then it auto-populates based off of the information given. I wish Illustrator had that, and I would be willing to pay a little bit more for it. I really do love having all of the Adobe package, but I wish they would also base it off by time used. So if I don't use it, if I don't open the program, I would love to see a ticker based off of that for somebody like me, because in that way I can own it and pay like $5 a month for the account, and then balance it out for however much it should be for the time used. And if I'm using it on more than one computer at a time, it would be just another $5 to get it installed onto that computer per month. But then if I'm not using Illustrator on this computer, then like just using the bridge and media encoder, because that's what I use on my server, is just bridge and media encoder. And I wish that bridge was not having to need a license, because then technically it wouldn't be installed on my server, and I can do without the media encoder being on the server. But I don't like that. I want to fix that right now. This is one thing I like about that tool, being able to leave the path that I'm working on. So like I can leave right here, come over here, add in what I want to add in, and then come back over here and then continue it up. Now, I didn't like how that came in. I could just pull it. There we go. That little S was meaning that I'm continuing the path, and it will point to both sides instead of being this hook and pull back, whatever you call those. But I make a corner. See, it just said corner point. And then if I do this, it's no longer a corner point. But if I do this and then drag, it's now a corner point. So the wings are going to take the longest. That's why I did the most, looking like it's complex in a lot of lines, but it was just triangles and lines. It wasn't even complex at all. Oh wait. Okay, so I'm going to come back on myself now here. And I'm just going to cut straight across here and complete it. So I did the outside line, and now I'm going to do the inside line. Because I can't see it over here, I'm going to come in like this, and then I like to leave the tool has all corner points, and then I purposely drag, even though it's not dead on, to make sure that it does a non-corner, but it still behaves like a corner when I want it to be. That's why I like this one, because unlike the pen tool, if I accidentally drag, I can't easily undo. Like this one, I can't easily undo the corner. Like I didn't want that corner, instead I want it rounded. I can just click and now it's rounded. That's one of the, like I said, it's different, but it's really close to the same. And it feels different. I don't know. I just love this tool. But I always have a fun time. Oh, I meant to, oh, see, I didn't. Oh, and that's the other thing too with this tool, is I can bring it back and it undoes any of the corners. That's the other reason why I like this tool. Unlike the pen tool, you have to erase it and then bring it back. This one I can just bring it back on that one side. I don't have to erase the other side. And then get up here. And then you can hold down space and do your maneuver still. Oh. Oh yeah, I could do this, do that, and then come back here and then get rid of it. Sometimes that gets in the way. It's very rare. And then you'll kind of start understanding. I could get rid of that, so I'll get rid of it. So I'm going to find my close spot, and then I'm going to you'll start understanding where Bezier curves should land if you do this enough, like I do. Always try to do the four corners, north, south, east, west, when you're doing artwork. It, you start being able to get better Beziers when you do that. Sometimes I rotate it, but I keep it north, south, east, west. Try to keep it parallel with each other. Or else then you have some weird curves happening. Sometimes it requires you to break the abnormal. But if you start recognizing where a curve should be, you'll get it within the first try. Practice, practice, practice. That's why I do the Simbi work. I love Simbi because I get like kudos. Like I do the work, I'm not getting actually paid, but I do somewhat get paid. If you guys like, I'm trying to build the graphics club, and if you want to get paid in Simbis, I will use those in points so that you can pay for clip art off my website in Simbis. So if you want some of my fancy graphic styles, contact me, direct message me. I'll let you know how you can upload clip art that you've collected, or artwork that you've made that you want to turn into clip art, and then I can pay in Simbis. So instead of real money, I'll pay you in Simbis. So then in turn, you can go back onto my website, clipartgenius.com, and actually purchase more. I'm in process of looking at creating my own currency on the website. So instead of getting paid in Simbis, you'll get paid in website credits, which will be clipartgenius.com. So you'll get paid in CG points, or yeah, CG points, and which stands for Creative Graphics Club also. I just now realized that. Well, I didn't just now realize it, but yeah. What the heck just happened to that corner? See, this is where I can get rid of it and bring it back and do all this nice stuff. There we go. That looks better. Yeah, like that did not work. So we're going to come in here and pull it. Here's the cool thing. I can get rid of those. So I'm going to fix this, and I'm going to get rid of this. And look at that. It automatically figured out the math that 2 points needed to be there instead of 1. That is not straight. So what I could do is and delete that and just pull it instead of putting an anchor point there. So you can go around like this, and that's another way you can use this tool. Like rather than coming in and doing a whole bunch of anchor points in the beginning, you could just come in here and pull it and redo your points. And which is another fun way of doing it. So like I can, and then click here and then just pull it, which is kind of fun to do sometimes. But it only works on certain occasions. And then I'm going to go ahead and group that so it's together. And the cool thing is these wings are symmetrical, so I could just clone it for the other side, and it's good to go. This is not clip art. This is a customer file. I don't know if this wing was originally clip art. If it was, I could have probably found it, but they're getting charged to redraw. And that's what I'm doing. And I use the regular pen tool, switch over to this one, and I'm going to delete that one. I like to have it only 4. And I actually proved a teacher wrong in high school. she's a graphics teacher, and it was teaching us Illustrator and Photoshop and Flash. We did a little tiny bit of animation with Flash. I was goofing off with freehand, and they have a tool that's similar to this one on how you draw. And the teacher was going on and on about how circles are always 4 points. And I said, that's not true. You can get a near perfect circle with only 2 points. And she goes, no, it's not possible. I'm like, what are you talking about? It totally is possible. It's 2 arches, 2 half arches. And she went on and on about it, like, no, that's not possible. And I said, I can prove it very easily. And in freehand, not Illustrator, I opened up freehand, and because you could type to draw lines, and I got really good at doing that, so that I can draw stuff like gears and all this fancy stuff. I miss freehand, but you could do all these fancy stuff in freehand to do more like mechanical looking stuff by typing. So I created an ellipse with 2 points, and then she goes, well, that was an Illustrator. So I go, if Illustrator let me tell it where exactly I want the curve and everything like that, I'd be able to do it exactly 100% perfect. But I quickly just opened up Illustrator and went click pull with shift, and then I went straight down below it, click pull with shift, found about where the same area was, and then I came back and did that, and I go, well, I know if I was able to type in the equation, I'll get a perfect circle. And she just dropped her jaw and says, wow. Oops, I went back to the regular pen tool. See, I'm going to do it with the pen tool. I'm going to show you the difference. So I can get, because I've gotten used to doing this, darn right near it. But here's then where it gets interesting. It worked. Okay, well, I like this one better. I don't know why. It just feels different. Even though it's exactly the same, I guess. Alright. This one's doing the weird cut. Oops. I forgot to drag. Now I can even do smaller, like little jots, if I want to really get tight with the detail. But this is not that detailed of artwork. Oops. Keep that one that way. I want that one going that way. And it messed up that. I think that's pretty dang close. Oh. But yeah, I have so much fun with this. I wish I could find background music that's not copyright, that won't ding me in any way on any of the streaming services. Yet I can have background music playing for me and everybody else that is like a radio. I would love that. If anybody watching knows what I can get tapped into, I'm liking a lot of the new like cyberpunk new wave stuff. I want to get a lot of that stuff in my background. And or classical music. I'm pretty sure I could put any classical music, but it's I believe who composed it, not composed it, who's playing it. They own the rights to it. So if I played it, I know I can. The composer is no longer asking for royalties for it, but I know that it's the artist that is playing the instrument is now the copyright holder to that recording. Not necessarily the song, but the recording. And I think that's where it makes it this whole thing difficult with like clip art and all that stuff. In my ruling, the moment you say that it's clip art and it's usable for anybody, it no longer is yours to call for royalties. For resale, you have to have an agreement that it's resellable. But if the clip art is marked as, if the artwork is marked as clip art, it no longer is copyrightable. I just can't resell the artwork. And that's why I like that tool over this one. Because when I used the pen tool, I couldn't jump and jump back. Alright. I'm going to save real quick. If any of you have questions, I am live on all chats except for Periscope. Periscope has an issue with the chat not coming live to me. So if you're chatting on there, I will not see it. But on YouTube, on Facebook, and the other platforms, I am able to see your chat. So if you want, go ahead and send me a message, or if you have a pull request or anything like that. I'm just doing some for fun, but yet to get paid in kudos off of Simbi.com. For the service that I do. If you're interested in getting artwork vectorized, you can go to Simbi.com / Bluebrad / welcome. And in there, I will give you 200 Simbi dollars for joining, to where you can get services like this done. And this is a $70 Simbi service, so that gives you a rough idea. That this is I compare it to dollar value. You can choose to do whatever value you like on your stuff. For like business card setup, I do 20 Simbis, which was roughly 20 US dollars. But the way they say it, you're welcome to charge whatever Simbi amount you want. It's not really meant to be dollar for dollar trade value, but I like that because it makes it easier to understand, because I normally charge roughly $40 to $80 an hour to do stuff like this, and I figure this takes me about an hour to hour and a half to do most artwork. If it's super complex, like if I looked at his artwork and I was like, I can't take apart that with my head, like I can't see myself drawing the lines, I go, it's extremely complex, I'm going to charge you 3 times the amount, due to the fact is that it looks longer. I say 2 weeks on my service, just because most of the time I only have the weekends to do this stuff. So I like to let everybody know that, hey, this is a weekends thing that I do, and I am doing it just for fun. So if you need a rush on it, it's not going to be any sooner than 2 weeks, so don't get your hopes up. But most of the time I do it within the following weekend, and I schedule it. I'm going to take a quick mental break right here, but I'll talk about something else that I want to show you guys. So if you're following me on my channel, my server is in beta right now for this service that I'm going to show you guys, but you are welcome to use it. If there's any troubles or anything like that, it's software that I had found that is very nice, called WeCam, and it's a Kanban style chart that's very easy to set up. So project management or task management can be easily jotted out. Oops, I forgot that it's going to pull my line. There we go. So I'm going to pause that for a moment and show you guys what this system looks like. I'm going to pull a window over. So this is my main project board. I have a couple different project boards here. But on this main one right here, I had set it up need to do. So these are like every idea that I put together. Things that I'm actually working on right now, pending for approval, file setup, everything like that. So if I come over here to the apparel page, I have projects that are going in for apparel. This is in list view. I want to go to swim lane view. Swim lanes I can put categorized for screen printing, embroidery, heat press, banners. I have all these different types of things that are going on for that. But yeah, it's just brad.blue. You're free to set up an account. If you fail to get an email, let me know. If you add people to your board and they fail to get an email, let me know. The emails will be coming from me, Brad at Bluebrad. So if you're a little confused, I'm trying to get the system updated to where when you become an admin to a board, you can put in your admin info and it will change it to where it's sending from you. So you can change the email sender. Like I said, this is still in beta. It's not even a public release software yet. You can install it to your own server, which is WeCam if you search up that. So if you search up Kanban, you'll be able to find what this is. Yeah, because I can't really show you the admin panel because it will show you my account access stuff. The nice thing is I cannot see any of the private data. I would have to strategically go into the database and decrypt it, which I believe with your password it creates a salting encryption, so it uses your password to extra encrypt the files. So it's encrypted by the server with one of the encryption styles. I can't remember which one it is. And then, yeah. So that was a good break. My hand needed that. Alright. I'm going to start over here. I'm waiting for it to save. Oop. That was fun. Apparently, no. It really just does not want to let go. I've never seen it do this. This is kind of interesting. Like a save glitch or something. It wasn't drawing anything when I was clicking. That was interesting. But yeah, WeCam is really nice software. If you want to set up your own account on that software and create your own, what I call them is digital whiteboards. The cards would be post-it notes. Swim lanes would be like your rows, and then your columns would be the lists. So it's a little bit different on how you think it would be laid out for what it's named. But like I said, very nice software, very well put together. It's free software, so I offer it to anybody that's following me or wanting to join the cgclub.com. Eventually, I'm going to go through and lock it out to where when you become a member for the CG Club, which is the Creative Graphics Club, so anybody that's video, audio, 2D animation, 3D animation, illustrators, hand drawing people, because I consider those graphics, even though they're old analog graphics, they're still a form of graphic or illustration. Earlier, if you missed my video, I did yesterday Spooksy Boo. I redrew her, well, I've already redrawn her logo. I did a logo bounce, which is a intro that I somehow switched over to regular pen tool again. And did her a black and white, or a black version and a white version for the background. And that was fun because I needed to keep up my practice in After Effects. I don't use After Effects very often, so my main thing now is Illustrator. And like 99.9% of the time, I'm using Illustrator for everything I do. That's why I'm so good and so fast at doing vectorizing. Because I just know how the tools work, and I have a Wacom and I don't use it. I'm thinking about once the graphics club gets really good and big, I will probably give it away. If not, I will, why isn't this giving me a corner? See, this is one thing. I wish that if I hold down the shift and control key, it will let me break this corner from a corner. Or from a, what are they calling that? It's not going to give me a, what is it called? Smooth point. From a smooth point to a corner tool. Alright. Apparently that needs to be pulled over. Alright. I think that's done. Control Y. Sorry if anybody gets a problem with that. I should have warned you. I'm going to switch back and forth real quick. But I'm going to group that. And now here's the cool thing. I'm just going to go into the Pathfinder here. And I'm going to hollow it out. That's it. And if I switch it, yep, everything's perfect. And I'm going to switch it to white. So we're going to go new color here. Hold down that window so I can see it. And it's going to be white, and voila. Now I'm going to Control C, Control B, and I'm going to unite that together. And I'm going to turn it inside out, and I'm going to clicking too many times. I'm going to make this black, and then I'm going to send this backwards. Perfect. And now here's the cool thing. I'm going to select the ones that I just did that with. Oops, I'm getting the wrong things. Wait, what's going on here? Oh, it's a reverse path, that's why. Okay, but yeah, it's right that I'm going to duplicate it. Transform, reflect. Okay. And then I just hover over this point and drop it to that point. Now I'm going to go into my layers, delete the other one, send that all the way backwards, group the wings, and I'm going to kill the original. Yes. And then turn back on my black rectangle that should be below the wings, which was not. And there we go. Complete. It's 100% vector, not outlined. But now I am going to give an outlined version. So I'm going to Shift O, make sure I map to that. I'm going to Shift O again, and I'm going to clone. And then this one will be the outline version. So I go Object, Flatten Transparency, 100% vector, convert everything out. Now if I view it, it should be a little bit of a mess, but I'm going to go Object, Flatten Transparency again, and then use the divider tool. Divide everything completely up. And then we go select same fill color, and then unite. There we go. I wish that this was an automatic tool. So I'm in my layers palette now. I guess I can show you what I'm doing. What I've done is selected all, and I unselected the yellow, and I'm uniting the black. So now I have two distinct pieces there, and then I'm going to select all this white piece, go Object, Flatten Transparency, and then divide, and then do the same thing. I'm going to go in here, I'm going to isolate. So we're going to go in to isolate it. Then select same fill color. Put all the white together. And then rather than having to reselect the same fill color, I'm just going to select all, deselect the white, unite. And that's the black. And then we close out. There we go. Now that one looks slightly different than the one above, because the one above is fully outlined, or unoutlined. This one's fully outlined. So there's no extra artwork. Alright, so he has two different versions. Now I'm going to go ahead and move this up, clone it again, and I'm going to make this box a lot bigger. I'm going to reform the shape, and so this one's line, outline, and then text. Alright, now I'm going to come back in here, clone this into Illustrator for reference only, and I'm using the fully outlined version, so EMBARK on the JURNE of layers. Put you back in here. Put Pathfinder back here. Alright. So it's white. It's engraver. What does that one look like? Ooh, that's too bold. Also, center line, center. Let's go ahead and finish typing. Alright, so type, and we go over here to small caps. It is that. See, I don't like this new layout. I really miss the old one. That's pretty dang close. It's not it though. That's it. It totally is that. No, it's not that either. But that's even closer. I'm going to call that it. And then we clone this one up here. And this one, SPIRIT. And what I could do is make this one Trojan. And I'll just modify the A. It's not Trojan. It's this one. Sorry. It's kind of that one. Alright, it's actually a lot bigger than I want it to be. And I didn't group those, so let's group it. I'm just going to move it down inside this, because it's going to remain vector, it's just going to be outlined. I like that one. We're going to expand that. Alright, so the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here to this A. We're going to scale it that way. Do this. Do that. That should be, yep, completely knocked out. And the dot is closer to the top, so we're going to mimic that dot. I don't like it there, I want it down here more. And then the O is a weird shape. All we have to do is grab, oh, see how there's extra points in here? I'm going to isolate. And then I'm going to go in here. I have a cleanup tool, which is on 3. I'm going to go ahead. Oh man, it's not doing the 4 corners, so I'm going to do 6. Center out. We're going to add a new point. We're going to minus this point, and this point, and this point, and this point. And it was thinner on top, right? Yeah, thinner on top. So all I got to do is select this with 6 and move it up. That's it. I like it. And then outline that. Delete that original. And then I've already deleted the original layer inside here. And then I'm going to go rearrange artboards. And I'm going to go straight down and let it do its thing. I wish they would go center. But that's good. Save. And now I'm going to... I have a nice little thing. If you guys would like to see it, send me a chat right now. But I will show you guys. I'm going to create a new layer on top of this layer. I'm going to go ahead and create an artboard. I mean a marquee. And inside my appearance, graphic styles. So I'm loading it. I have a special graphic style loadable. It's loading. There it goes. That I've created a proof mark. That's too much. I created them at different scales, so that way I can have very fine scale or very high scale. But what this does is it puts a proof mark on it. For some reason it's not showing up on RGB black or RGB white. Ooh, that's not good. For some reason RGB black, it's not working. But if I switch the document to CMYK, effect, document color mode, where are you at? Why am I hitting a blanket? Where are you at? Where's the file? Document color mode, there you go. And then if I change, oh, no, select all, there we go. Color, yes, yes, CMYK. It should have been this anyways. Doesn't seem like it changed. Probably should do it different colors, that way I know that it changed. Yeah, okay. And then come back and change it to black, and there we go. Huh. Because I applied it as color mode. Maybe this needs to be switched to screen. Because it's supposed to show up like that. But that keeps you from being able to do the image. And I can show you how to make this pattern. It doesn't really show on this very well for some reason. So I'll show you. We're going to just take something that has a spectrum fill in it. Let me pull that up. Gradients, spectrum, and we're going to apply a spectrum fill. Now if I Control C, Control F, make this larger, open up this, hit proof, this is what it's supposed to do. So if you put it over the top of something, it will say proof, 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 proof. If you guys are interested in knowing that, let me know that you're going to cheer me on, and I will make a quick, like, 5-minute video on tutorialing how to do that. And that way when you send a proof to a customer, that is the upper layer, so they can't get the artwork easily. And then I'll show you how to lock a PDF to where they can't print and they can't copy or edit any of the content because they do not have your password. Very nice, secure way to mark your proofs. I always export them out to JPEGs, with that proof mark on it, so it double sets the standard for the file. If you want to get really funny and advanced, you turn it back into a PDF and password protect it. It will slow them down so far, they may as well pay you the money to get the vector file that you originally created rather than trying for them to recreate it. But now this file is ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and apply this as a purple background now. So that way he can see what it kind of looked like originally. Ooh, I like that purple. Alright, so I'm going to apply that color, make sure it's a global, and now here's the cool thing. Select the other two, color, document swatches, boom. Oops, why didn't it, oh, because yellow wasn't in there. Got it. Now it is. So then you open that up again. Actually, all I have to do is double click, swatches, click, done. I'm out. Boom. And then file. And then what I'm going to do is make a proof layer here. And it's going to be my proof. And I lock that layer. And then save. And I'll save a copy. PDF. Proof. And I'm going to black out here for a moment so I can type in my password and everything where it's saving securely. I'll be right back. Oh, you can still hear me though. Okay, let me just save the file real quick. Like I said, I disable printing and password protect the file. There's no way for him to get in here. So that way it has to be paid for to get you the file. Because the nice thing is with that layer, if they even send it to print and try to like remove the files, it flattens it in such a way to where there's thousands of little squares that spliced apart their artwork. So it does not make sense to try to steal the artwork. You may as well just go ahead and give in. You see, it's there, just very faint, just enough there to mark the proof. But there you go, and it's a secured PDF. There's no editing allowed. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to get a hold of me and know more about the club, it's thecgclub.com. I post my work there. I also post these live shows there. Some of them are private and they are only visible on that website, and some of them are just open and broadcasted to everybody. And if you guys ever want to follow me, you can follow me at bluebrad.com/live, and all of my live information is there. Alright, catch you guys later. Be creative.